Hello everyone, welcome to the Oracle of the Central Sun. I am Michelle. This video is going to be about the new moon in Capricorn. This is happening on the 18th or the 19th of January, depending on your time zone. Where I'm at in South Africa, it is happening on the 18th. It's happening at 9:51 p.m. in the evening. So this is basically happening at the last degree of Capricorn, because we are so close to the 29th degree, but it is exactly at 28 degrees and 43 minutes of Capricorn. So as we know, with Capricorn, there's always a sense of wanting to have security, wanting to plan, wanting to have our goals laid out quite specifically. But with what is occurring actually at this new moon, there may be a lot that is not so clear right now, that we need to be able to be open to the unclarity before the clarity comes. And I'm going to give you guidance around all of this. So we are dealing with a big stellium of planets in Capricorn at the moment, and of course that means that soon we will be dealing with a stellium of planets in the sign of Aquarius, but more on that in the future. So for this new moon, we've got the sun and the moon at 28 degrees 43 minutes of Capricorn, and we also have Mercury sitting with Mars at 26 degrees of Capricorn. So these four planets are basically all sitting together, and they are also all opposing the Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So for a while now, we've been dealing with the stellium in Capricorn opposite Jupiter in Cancer, and this has had a lot of influence around our beliefs and our life philosophies around those things that we want to do well in terms of our family and how we deal with closeness and the home and all of these things around us. And it can be a little bit of a challenging period because of the opposition. So we might be exposed to things with the Jupiter retrograde that we are seeing belief systems about ourselves and where our life philosophies may not have served us for the best. And as we are going through all of these oppositions, then things would have been revealed to us that may have been quite uncomfortable. But this new moon is heralding a new cycle starting. And what we see at this new moon is also a minor grand trine that is happening between the four planets I mentioned: Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Mars at the end of Capricorn. We have Neptune and Saturn sitting at the end of Pisces, and we have Uranus sitting at the end 27 degrees of Taurus. So a minor grand trine is all flowing harmonious aspects, and this usually brings opportunity for growth, but it also asks of us to dig a little bit, to put some work in, to be able to make use of these flowing aspects that are happening at the moment. So I'm going to show you what cards I drew for the moon, for the new moon itself, and then also for the opposition to Jupiter and the minor grand trine. So these energies are all very interesting because Saturn is the ruler of this new moon, and a new moon is influenced by where the ruler of that house is sitting. And it's beautiful in the sense that Saturn is forming a sextile to this new moon, and at the same time we are in the midst of that Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which will happen just about a month from now on the 20th of February. So Saturn and Neptune are already so close together right now. They are 2 degrees apart. It is a positive sign that Saturn is sextile this new moon, and at the same time with Neptune, there's a little bit of a contrast always happening between Saturn and Neptune, because Neptune is that cosmic, that expansive, it's our dreams, it's cosmic consciousness and cosmic love consciousness. And Saturn is a bit more contracting. It's about reality. It's bringing things into concrete reality. And it's also showing us where our boundaries are and where glass ceilings are that we can transcend. So with Saturn and Neptune influencing this new moon, there's definitely this contrasting aspect that is happening in terms of expansion and contraction. And it might be a very fine line to walk down the middle to see where we are each going to find our balance point with this. So I drew a card for this entire chart of the new moon in Capricorn, and I received the moon card, and it is so apt because you can see even on this card the sun and the moon are sitting together symbolically, which signifies a new moon. The moon card is very much about the subconscious and our intuition. What is interesting about this card is that it also speaks to duality. You've got the 2 towers in the background, and then you also have a dog and a wolf, which is symbolic of our conscious and subconscious mind, and that side of us that maybe wants to control things. And then there's also our more wild side. And then what is so beautifully symbolic about this moon card is that the lobster is in the center. So the lobster is not part of the duality. The lobster is crawling out of the water, which is a symbol for emerging from the subconscious. And you can see there's a road in the card that is also in the center. And the lobster can crawl out and walk down the center. So this card representing this new moon is so much about asking all of us to really, really tap into our own intuition. This card also speaks to what I said about Saturn and Neptune being together in this chart, and for the next month, and then exact on the 20th of February, and then also for a few months after, we're still going to be dealing very, very strongly with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So Saturn, Neptune are also so well represented in this card because of that concrete and expansive elements that are playing off against each other. So this card is all about your inner voice, your gut feelings. It is exploring your subconscious, working with your dreams, with your intuition. There can be some things at the time of this new moon that feel very uncertain and ambiguous. And it is actually important that somehow we breathe into that, and that the uncertainty is actually okay for a while, because new things are born out of this uncertainty. We don't walk through life always with 100% certainty, and it is out of those cycles of uncertainty that new clarity is born. So at this new moon, and for the 2 weeks after, really take a step back before you move forward with anything. Work with your shadows. Be present to your intuition, your gut instincts, and it's asking you to also deal with the deep things in your psyche that might be uncomfortable right now. So be open to the uncertainty, work with your inner guidance. It is very, very important in this moon cycle. And then I also drew a card for all of the planets in Capricorn sitting opposite Jupiter in Cancer. And for this, I received the Six of Cups. So what we see here is a card of kindness and openness and gifts, and really sharing our joy and sharing simple things like flowers and inner gifts with other people. So we may have been through a time now where we've had this opposition between a lot of the inner planets to Jupiter, which could have brought up some uncomfortable things. But what this card is asking us to be open to is real kindness at this time. Kindness for yourself, for what might be coming up, and also kindness to others around you, because we are all going through our own personal things that may be challenging. And it's important to really be open to that kindness and sharing with each other. And then the card I received for the minor grand trine. So the minor grand trine really is happening here between sign-based. It's happening between Mars, Jupiter, the moon, and the sun, in sextile to Saturn and Neptune, and in trine to Uranus. And then out of sign, we also have Venus at the first degree of Aquarius, who is also out of sign, forming a sextile and a trine to Saturn, Neptune, and then to Uranus. So all of the planets are really involved quite heavily in this new moon. So for the minor grand trine, I received the Emperor card. And the Emperor card is quite interesting because he always feels quite Saturnian to me, because Saturn is very much about being solid, and this is all about stability. It is about our inner authority. As you can see, he holds a Ankh, and he also holds a sphere in the other hand. So that is really a symbol of the world that is open to us, and also being connected to the spiritual side. So this card really, for me, at this new moon, represents that we can find our own leadership, being a leader of your own life, finding your inner stability and your inner authority in terms of your life, by being with these other things that came before, by being open to your intuition, by really working with the subconscious and instincts and intuition and dreams and all of these things right now, and finding the middle way with that. And then also with the Six of Cups, through that kindness and joy and sharing and openness. And this can really bring us to this point where even though certain things in life may feel still a bit uncertain and ambiguous, when we are connected to those inner parts of ourselves, we feel this inner leadership and authority in our lives. And I really, really love these cards that came out for this new moon. So then, last but not least, the I Ching reading I got for this new moon. And I'm reading from my favorite little book today, The Little Book of Changes by Peter Crisp. And the hexagram I received is number 33. It is called Retreating. And it really speaks to the intuition part that shows up for this new moon. Sometimes a retreat into a place of tranquility is just what the doctor ordered. Excuse me. You like a distant mountain peak, keeping the demons at bay. You are not angry, you are reserved. Retreat need not be a running away. It can be a sign of strength. By putting distance between yourself and hostile forces, you bring them to a standstill. You remain calm and dignified. And this is the Emperor card, the calm and the dignity. Because even when retreating, and especially when retreating, a human being must have dignity. And then there was a changing line, line number 5, and it says, yes, you are withdrawing from the scene, but you are still friendly. I love that because that speaks to the 6 of Cups, and even though we are dealing with things, we can still share that friendship and joy with others. And then the changing line changed the hexagram to number 56, which is called the Wanderer. Good fortune awaits the traveler who honors the law of the road. Gratitude is the attitude. So this is asking us to travel with gratitude at the moment. A fire on the mountain, a light to guide you on your travels, a beacon to give you hope. When you're a stranger in a strange land, a pleasant manner, a willingness to engage, the innocence of a child. This is all the 6 of Cups. Pleasant willingness to engage, innocence will open many doors for you, and your journey will go well. Do all you can to protect your state of mind, because life is not without its hazards. And this is also, the state of mind is also very much present in this moon card, because traditionally the moon card is a card that can be more melancholic. But again, if we are present with our intuition and we really walk that middle way between the conscious and the subconscious, an openness for things to arise, then we can really work so strongly with our intuition at this time and really come into our own authority. So this is a beautiful new moon. I think this is a start of things that will be unfolding over the next few months with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction and all the other things that are happening. And in February, we are also starting eclipse season. So more on that soon, because in eclipse season, things always start to accelerate a little bit. So I am still doing some 2026 year ahead charts. If you are interested in knowing what is happening for you in 2026, what to focus on, what guidance comes up for you for the year. And then I also still offer all my other things. The link to the website is below if you want to book. And please subscribe if you haven't. It's free and it really helps my business and my channel to grow. Leave an emoji and leave a comment. I love to know how these transits are influencing you in your life right now. I will see you again next time.